Hey gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey and this is the baby Lincoln. This is the 2024 Lincoln Corsair, a fancy version of the Ford Escape that comes at quite a premium, stickered at just over $61,000. This thing does carry a hefty price tag for such a small vehicle, but in this video, I'm going to tell you why that price tag may be justified. Stay tuned. It is springtime here in East Texas, and you know what that means? The pollinating is happening. Yes, my car has been sitting outside for over a week, and you can see it is no longer black. It is a nice shade of pollen, and yeah, not very clean. And then looking over here at this Kia EV6, this has just been out for one night, and we already have a nice coat of pollen all over the top of this one, which leads very nicely into this week's video sponsor. Thanks to our friends at carcover.com, we were able to get a custom perfect fit car cover for my 2013 Chevy Cruze. They know it's important to keep your car protected, and what they sent me was their Gold Shield 5L car cover, which beats all its competitors for many reasons. It resists all types of extreme weather conditions, such as snow, and is 100% waterproof and water resistant. This is the ultimate car care cover for storing your vehicle and protecting it while outside. The soft fleece lining is sure to protect your vehicle's paint and finish while it is underneath. And this car cover was so simple to install, I was able to do it myself for the very first time in under 15 minutes. It comes with a couple clips for the front and the back, and a lockable cable to secure it across the middle. So this car cover is not going anywhere, and it will help me keep all that pollen out here in the springtime in East Texas. Huge thanks to carcover.com for providing us with this Gold Shield 5L cover for my Chevy Cruze. You can get one for yourself. Simply follow the link down in the description below and enter promo code GTGarageTalk in the coupon field at checkout for a discount off of your first order. Yes, gearheads, I do want to say a huge thanks to Lincoln for bringing us their baby cute ute and the 2024 Corsair. This is a reserve trim, class 3, I believe is how they call it, with quite a few options, but as per usual, we're going to start under the hood with what motivates this thing. It is actually a double latch hood, so that you don't have to fiddle with that latch underneath the hood. Makes opening it up very easy. We've got gas struts holding it in place, all things you would expect on a premium vehicle north of even $50,000, much less being north of $60,000. Underneath the hood of this one, we get Ford's 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. We do have an all-wheel drive model, but this is a front-wheel drive biased vehicle. It makes a very impressive 250 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed SelectShift automatic with paddles, though this really isn't like the sporting vehicle that you're going to want to drive. And it does, as I mentioned, have intelligent all-wheel drive. We do have 4 different drive modes that Lincoln, bless their hearts, they are so creative in their naming. There's normal, there's slippery for, icy, wet conditions. There's Conserve for economical driving, and then there's Excite for, sporty, exhilarating driving. Closing the hood, we can appreciate the updated styling. The Corsair has been with us since the 2020 model year, but for 2023, we got a new updated look. This was, I do believe, the first vehicle in the Lincoln lineup to get the new look that has now trickled to the new Chinese-built Nautilus that slots in right above this, and the new 2025 Lincoln Aviator that we just saw teased very recently. We're yet to actually get to see that in person, but you can see it's a big, bold grille with the repeating Lincoln star throughout the entire grille. We get LED headlights, LED running lights, LED turn signals, LED all of the things up here. We don't get any fog lights to speak of up here, but we do get a very nice lighting package to be sure. You can see just how interesting and intrinsic they are to the design. They light up and welcome you as you get close to the vehicle. It is very nice. All that is based on the proximity key that we'll talk about here in just a little bit. As we move around to the side, this whisper blue metallic really catches the sunlight and sets this thing apart. I like all the chrome accents, all the black accents, though I wish the lower body cladding were in a gloss black versus this flat black. When we're talking $61,000 premium luxury crossover, you would really expect a little less plastic on it, like plastic. And that is about the only knock I give to the overall design of this vehicle, is that lower black cladding. As we pull in close, you can see we get that Lincoln star in the center of these very nice machine-faced aluminum wheels. They are wrapped in Continental cross-contact tires. They are two 45 R20s wrapped around these, like I said, machine-faced and gloss black wheels. Very nice look. That is part of an option package here on our model. As we pull out and come around to the side, you can see it very much resembles a baby Nautilus, baby Aviator, and a little bit of a baby Navigator as well. One interesting design choice that they did here is this black A-pillar in between the windshield and the window line that gives this floating roof effect up here. But you can see we've got two different panels here now. Instead of a continuous one, we've got a little bit of a seal here. So it does give an interesting look to the overall profile. Again, with that floating roof design that is so popular. Let me know down in the comments what you think of it. We get gloss black mirror caps and Corsair spelled out here on the door, which is a very nice touch. As we pull around to the back, again, that floating roof design continues. And as we pan around to the back, you can see a very cool, very Audi-like rear end. And I say that because it very much resembles a Q5 in the fact that the hatch wraps all the way around the side. We'll talk more about that when we actually open it. But you can see here we've got all LED lighting around here as well. Dual exhaust tips down below for that 2-liter Turbo 4. Lincoln spelled out across the tailgate, which is becoming an increasing trend in the luxury segment. Infiniti is leaning into that. We saw that at the North Texas Auto Expo with the QX monograph. Lexus has already switched to no longer putting the L on the back of their vehicles. And so Lincoln, I do believe, led the way, ditching the Lincoln star on the back in favor of the word Lincoln back here in the back. This is a power opening hatch that has a button right here under the last L in Lincoln, but you can also kick to open it right here under this parking sensor on the passenger side. Makes it very easy to get in and open, and there you can see just how wide that hatch opening is and how it wraps around the side. Due to US regulations about lighting, you can see the taillights have now moved down into the bumper and are flashing down below there because US regulations don't allow lights to be on moving panels. As we open the hatch, you can see we get a nice cargo area that is fairly large and wide. We get top tethers all the way across the 60/40 split bench rear seat that does recline, plenty of room to recline. We've got lighting back here, release mechanisms for the seat. We've got 12-volt power back here, and we do have a false load floor with a temporary spare and felt-lined cargo areas that you can hide stuff in underneath the floor. So that is all very nice when it comes to exterior or interior storage in the back of the vehicle. As we look at myself underneath the hatch, it opens up wide enough. I'm 5'10". I have just enough clearance. You can see this is where they put the power close button, but we can also power close it by kicking under that spot right there. Give it a second try. There we go. And just watch those taillights switch when it comes to a complete close. As we come around to the side of the Corsair, I did want to show you the key. It's a typical Ford Lincoln key, much like the F-150 Lightning we just had. You have unlock, lock, remote start, hatch release, panic button, and you can deploy a physical key, but it is a proximity key, so you can just keep it in your pocket, your purse, wherever you do keep your keys. And it is a passive entry, so you can unlock it by putting your hand on the back of the door handle and lock it by pushing that spot right there. And it is actually on all 4 doors. So if you've got a kid that you want to load into the back, you can unlock it simply by grabbing the back door or the front door, which I think is a very nice touch. Opening the doors, the interior is absolutely where you will see all the benefit of the extra money you paid over the Ford version of this if the exterior styling didn't do it for you alone. And we'll start here on the door panel. You can see we've got two-tone black and dark gray. That's perhaps my least favorite thing about the coloring of this vehicle is the gray interior. It's just a little bit drab, but as we come in close, you can see we have multi-way perfect position seats with massage and 3-person memory. So that is a very nice addition. You have your power folding mirrors and all your mirror and window controls right there with express up down. And because the seat controls are on the door like a Mercedes-Benz, you don't have anything here on the side of the seat, which I actually prefer it being out in the open where you can see it. You can see with these perfect position seats, you really can adjust them however you need or see fit, including having each leg adjusted out to a different position, because I guess maybe your driving position may have one leg up with your right leg out. I don't know. The bolsters adjust and hug you very nicely. These seats are very comfortable, and they should be with that many adjustments. So it's really good that you get 3-person memory on this, because once you spend the time to get this adjusted to you, you're not going to want to have to do that again. So very much huge kudos to Lincoln on that. All your controls here are for your lights and for your hatch release right here. So not a bunch of stuff going on over here. And then we have a power tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Go ahead, climb in here, close the door. You can see those red lights flashing at me. I actually can't see those with my naked eye. Those are part of Blue Cruise, which is Ford's hands-free driving system that works on pre-mapped roads, typically interstates, and like I said, is a hands-free cruise control system so that you can drive without touching the steering wheel, but your eyes still have to pay attention to the road, which is exactly what those infrared sensors are doing. They're looking back at me, making sure I am paying attention to the road. Let's go ahead and put my foot on the brake and reach over here to the piano key style engine start button. And you can see all the stars that come into view here. And then we get the Lincoln chimes. Ford has their own chimes, Lincoln has their chimes. So we've got that going on here. I already mentioned the controls over on my left knee, but we'll go ahead and talk about the steering wheel. It is nice, leather wrapped, very cushiony. We've got the button here for the voice control right where your thumb hits. I don't know if I like that or not. I mean, that talks to the vehicle if we want it to, without like triggering it by saying something like, "Hey Lincoln." Yeah, see, that doesn't work, but if I hit that, now it is listening to me and it even tells me what I can do. It does have Amazon Alexa built into it. You can see that right there. But with my Apple CarPlay connectivity, you know, I could just say my Apple trigger words. I'm not so much a fan of Lincoln steering wheels and all their light up controls and the different things. These are joysticks, directional joysticks on either side. And depending on what is activated, certain things light up. Like if I turn on cruise control, now you can see all these light up, but these aren't actually buttons. They're just the light up sections. The buttons are back here behind it. So just a little weird. You can see when I did that, the left side of the screen is now dedicated to the driver assistance tech. It is a 12.3-inch screen. I don't know that they've utilized it to its utmost here. It's very simplistic, which I'm not complaining about. You buy this car for comfort and cruising. So you don't need a tach. 148 mile an hour speedometer is probably a bit much, but it gives you all the pertinent information without being overload, and you can change what is over there. I do believe you pull down and then you can do all the different things right there. So there is that. And we also do have a really good head-up display in this one. I'm going to do my best to show it off. It's really hard to see on my camera what I'm capturing on screen, but you can see we have fuel mileage to empty, what gear we're in, or what drive mode we're in park. Our current speed, outside temperature, time, and that white kind of grayed out box is the posted speed for the traffic sign recognition. So I like that a lot. As we come over here, I do really like the large 13+ inch infotainment system. It is a Sync branded infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That mostly works. I've had a few hiccups with the wireless connectivity. You can hit that button right there and load this side view here that you can pan through a few different things, which I guess I like, but I like that you can get rid of it just by hitting that button. And then you have this nice wide orientation for your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. All your climate control stuff is buried here in the screen, and that does stay up even if you put it in reverse. You can see we've got a nice 360 camera, a nice rear view camera, lots of good visibility all the way around. If I put it in drive, it goes back, but I can trigger the cameras with this button right here. And we have lots of different camera views in this vehicle, including a wide front, and all that. You can even zoom in all the way around you here. So that is a nice touch. Again, all HVAC is here. We have heated and ventilated front seats that remember where they were set because it's already getting warm here in late February. So yes, I've got my ventilated seat on. Piano key buttons here for the transmission, 8-speed automatic transmission. It's fine. I guess I just gotta get used to it. The only thing I don't like about it is all the gloss black here. And you're meant to touch this, so it's gloss black and shiny chrome looking plastic. All of this is meant to be touched, yet it's gonna be leaving fingerprints and collecting dust because it's a big flat surface. So that's a little bit weird for me. Whatever. This is just one big button that knows where your finger is when you're pushing it. So, and very interesting traction control button. They do that in some of the Ford products, like the Maverick, just a new button there for traction control. Volume knob like that, power button, so I like that a lot. Get some interesting materials here. Really like that, but it is a roller cover that has your Qi wireless charger, USB-A and USB-C underneath there as well, which does connect to the Sync infotainment system. Drive mode button and knob here. Again, I mentioned the different drive modes. We have normal, we have slippery for slick, icy, or loose surfaces, and then if we go back the other way, we have excite and we have conserve. It's interesting that you can't like keep turning in that direction and go back through them. You have to go back around or like keep turning. I don't know. It's very weird. Like just one quick turn does not do it. Like I'm stuck here and then I'm stuck here. Yeah, I had to go back. I don't know. It's a little bit weird. Electronic parking brake, a little bit of weird storage right here. Not quite sure. Forward and back cup holders. Decent size center console with some felt lining, so nothing's going to rattle in there. Decent size glove box with felt, and it is very damped, so not gonna rattle in there too much. Again, fairly nice seats, storage in the doors, which is nice. This is a quick access button for the massage. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my massage on because I want to. See, it takes you to this screen where you can adjust all the things, but I'm definitely gonna do that. You have these quick access buttons up here as well to take you to different things, but I'm gonna go back to CarPlay. Yeah, don't really care for the color of the seats, but the comfort of them is very good. Me sitting here with this big panoramic roof at 5'10", I've got plenty of headroom. No real complaints up here. Let's see, make sure I'm in park because we're gonna go ahead now and pop out and check out what the back seat is like. There are Ford chime or our Lincoln chimes. And there are various different chimes depending on what the situation is that all sound very similar, but you know, they're different. So it is a Ford thing, Lincoln thing. No sunshades back here in the back windows, which is a little bit of a miss for me at that price point. You can see all the dust here on the gloss black plastic. Again, my only real complaint with gloss black plastic. Reclining rear seats. You can see we've got a little bit of a build issue right here. This is a 2024 model, but the surround down here for the lower latch point, that is the second time that has popped out on me. So I'm sure the dealer would fix that, but you can see they are nice and exposed. We installed Tucker's child safety seat on our family video. Climbing in behind myself, I've got plenty of room. These seats are fairly thin in reality. They kind of remind me of airplane seats, how thin they are. These are soft injection molded plastic backs. So you can kind of abuse them. We do have magnets on the back, heated outboard seats back here, 2-stage, some air vents on the back of the center console. And then, do these seats slide? Yes, they do. So we can slide fairly far forward. My goodness, like I can hug that front seat, or I can slide all the way back. So that is a nice touch. We'll go ahead and give Tucker a little bit more room back there. And then a fold down center armrest with 2 cup holders. And coming to me, headroom, fairly decent headroom. Let's get out of the sun. Fairly decent headroom back here in the back, even with the roller shade goes back behind me. So just like up front, fairly good space. And then, as I mentioned, you can recline, which this is a very comfortable back seat. I've got no complaints back here. It is a little on the tight side, but if you need more room, you can step up to that Nautilus. It's the next in the lineup. That's enough touring inside and out. Let's hook up the cameras and go for a quick drive. See how that 2-liter Turbo 4 handles. All right, putting this thing in drive and setting off in the 2024 Lincoln Corsair Reserve Class 3. There's just so much with this one. I will say there are 11 grand in options, over 11 grand in options if you count the paint color and stuff like that. So there's a lot going on with this one, particularly to get it up to this nearly $62,000 price point, which did shock me for something in this class. It's very tight in here for something that costs $62,000. But when you get in it, if you were to take this on a road trip, you'd be very happy and comfortable. The heated and ventilated seats alone, add on top of that the massage and the perfect position. If you can't get comfortable in this vehicle, you must be really tall, or I don't know what, because this is a very comfortable interior. I have no complaints about the interior comfort in this. Unfortunately for me, Holly has gotten more time behind the wheel in this than I have, though I elected to take another vehicle on a road trip to and from Dallas, so I guess that's kind of on me. But getting out, acceleration is good. I am just in normal mode right now. I'm not in Excite. The transmission was kind of confused when I first set off, but then stepped into action right away. So for the Lincoln buyer who's shopping the Corsair, you're not buying this to carve corners. You're not buying this for just its exciting driving, despite what the sport driving mode is called with Excite. But even here in normal, it's got plenty of pep and power. I was actually surprised with the power numbers on this. 250 horsepower, 275 pound-feet of torque. Very impressive numbers from a Turbo 4. Makes it very easy to get around. The steering is nice and weighted. It doesn't feel too light. It is, for something this size, I think a little on the heavy side, though it's not heavy. So it's just well weighted, but we're gonna go ahead and make this corner right now because the light just changed. Let's go. You can see the transmission kind of stuttered, not knowing what I wanted to do, again, because we're in normal mode. But let's see, we'll go ahead, push the button and go to Excite, and we'll see what changes now that we are in Excite mode, though we're getting stuck in traffic at a light, which allows me to talk about visibility in this. You are going to be commuting in this. This is a commuter car. We've got fairly decent sight lines from the B pillars forward. I've even got this little helper window right here. I've got the Bliss blind spot monitoring. I've got nice sized rear view mirrors all the way around me. But the real Achilles heel is everything behind the B pillar. The back door windows are fairly nice. There's that third window behind the C pillar that is really kind of small and unusable. But that back window, I don't feel like I can adjust my rear view mirror to properly see out that back window enough. Like, I always feel like I'm tinkering and tampering with my rear view mirror, and that back window is fairly tiny, not helped by the fact that Tucker's car seat is back there, and that's kind of big and bulky as well. So everything, maybe C-pillar and back, is a little tough to see out of and not the best. You kind of sacrifice a little bit of visibility for the style of this vehicle. and that's to be expected. That is usually a trade-off. I drove a 45th anniversary Camaro for a year, so I know about sacrificing windows and such for style, and I'm okay with that, but I feel like the buyer of a Corsair is going to want to be able to see out of it maybe a little bit better than the buyer of a Camaro. Otherwise, it is a nice, comfortable vehicle, very nice for riding around town. The suspension is nice. You can get an adaptive suspension in this, but we just have the standard suspension. I've got no complaints. Soaks up bumps fairly nicely. We will do our normal Tucker's wobbly head test with this one when Holly gets behind the wheel, but now that we're in Excite mode, let's see. Yeah, the transmission is much more responsive in Excite mode and is more willing to let me quickly zoom around and do quick changes. So if you're planning on using the throttle sporadically, maybe normal mode, but if you really want some throttle response, definitely go to Excite. That should go without warning. Definitely holds the gears longer as well, but we're going to go ahead get over here because we're going to turn and hopefully get some clear traffic in front of us to give it one last go in Excite mode and see exactly what that is like. I will say also putting it in Excite mode does give you a tachometer and gives you a different layout here on the dash. Otherwise, it is what you would expect from a luxury crossover SUV, whatever you want to classify these. I typically call unibody things crossovers, just to kind of set the difference. Transmission is good, doesn't stutter. The engine is plenty powerful, and we're actually going to give it a test go right now. Now we're going to pull in front of this Cadillac too, because I don't guess they know what they're doing. So yeah, plenty powerful. Very excited about the amount of power in this. Works fairly well. Puts a smile on my face. Definitely more exciting than I thought it would be when I found out we were getting a Lincoln Corsair delivered to us versus maybe the new Ford Mustang. It ain't a Ford Mustang, but it ain't no slouch to drive either. So while you may have a preconceived notion that Lincoln is a vehicle meant for old folks, it's comfortable, it's giving me a massage, it's plenty quick, decent power, not too heavy, pretty good steering, fairly nice ride all the way around, fairly good vehicle. I don't know if it's worth all of the money that Lincoln is asking for it at $62,000, but it definitely offers a lot for this compact crossover class. If you want to see more from us, including our family review of this vehicle with Holly behind the wheel, hit the subscribe button down below, ring the bell so you are notified every time a new video drops. Find us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, everything at GT Garage Talk, or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com. But as for me, in the 2024 Lincoln Corsair at $62,000, until next time, gearheads, bye. Let's go. Here we go. Here we go. Whee! Definitely holds those gears.